Hi guys, welcome back to Transits and Tactics. It's a very interesting transit that we are going. We're away from the emotional gates. We're now up in our heads, right? So we have the solar transit in gate 63. This is the gate of doubt. It's the gate sitting on your head center or crown center, some people call it. Don't be afraid of these names, right? Gate of doubt is actually a really, really cool gate because it just allows you to question things, and question things so that you can build something more productive or more efficient or better in the future. It's a very future oriented gate, so we're analyzing, we're putting everything, to kind of like putting everything under a microscope and saying, is it worth it? Is it good? Is it, so there is a healthy level of doubt. Of course, this shadow will be completely being super skeptical and saying no to everything. And, this is not the point of this gate. I think it's really, really good. I love this energy. This is a reverse of my personality energy. So 63 is my earth. So this is what grounds me to doubt everything. And that's why sometimes, even in marketing, I always talk about marketing. Traditional marketing doesn't work. This is all smokescreen. This is all just the discourse of the industry because of this gate. This gate makes me think about this, and doubt it. So we are now all experiencing this. Maybe you are looking at what's going on in your business, what's going on in your marketing. I know for sure I was looking at everything and really upgrading some of the things because, I could see because there's this doubt, and doubt asks you, is it still working? Is it still, sometimes we're tweaking things because we're not sure in ourselves. And I know that in the beginning of the journey, especially, but sometimes even, when you feel a little stuck, you can say, things are not working. I need to change anything. I need to niche somewhere. And sometimes you might even love where you are, and yet there is the next growth is growth. You can't stop it, right? So you have to break that lobster shell. You have to outgrow that stage that you may have loved, and that was really literally my story right now. And then, so that's why the doubt is really good to just apply to everything, especially this week. I think if you're very healthy about it, it could be a really beautiful experience. And then with that, we have to also mention the Earth in gate 64. So this is in my design when I was born, this was the sun's energy, and this is the gate of confusion. I think that when we did back in September, we were doing this transit episode about the confusion, and I was talking about how I love this energy because this is not about just being confused. Obviously, I'm doing well in my life. It's not something to stop you, but it's understanding that the clarity comes always in hindsight with this energy. So first you have to live through the experience because it's about transformation and constant change. And then at the end, you will see and you will make all the conclusions and you will see the truth. And that's why this one, so it's interesting because confusion is also, the gate of confusion is also sometimes called before completion, because before completion you don't know. Before you lived this experience, there's confusion, right? But then after the completion, our solar transit now is gate 63, a bit of doubt. So, okay, let's scrutinize this experience. Let's analyze what just happened, right? So that's what this doubt means. It's much more about analysis rather than uncertainty. It's a very, very big difference here. And of course, if you have in your ajna, if you have a harmonic gate 4, or maybe you have the whole channel, like myself, I have the whole channel, the channel of logic. So if you have the gate 4, you will be affected by this channel of logic. And it's really interesting. Again, it's enhancing this analytical capabilities. The gate 4 itself, it can be sometimes a little bit sort of like trying to impress and be a little bit naive, but with 63 grounding it as well, it gives you this amazing problem solving abilities. So if your mind is hooked on something this week specifically, if you have that gate 4 and you have that channel activated, you might find incredible breakthroughs and solutions in where you're stuck. So, a little brainstorming, a little thinking, and make bold choices. It's this week. I feel like sometimes, this doubt can also hold us back. What will people say? That's the worst thing. That's the worst doubt. I think in online visibility and marketing and business, it's like, what will they say if I do this? The bold thing you need to do, you know, it's going to give you such like armor, like power, or and just inner confidence to do what you need to do, but you're so afraid that somebody, and they might not be even relevant people. That's the funny thing. They could be
Mm.
people in your family who are not relevant to your business journey, right? But they could pass a comment that will hurt because they're the ones, the closest in our lives. So this is the something that I encourage you to lovingly ignore any feedback from people who are irrelevant this week. And there is definitely an energy of support, of analyzing something. And if you need to take a bold move, even though the earth with that gate of confusion is there and you are not clear what's going on now. Trust your Obviously, if your authority is a yes, obviously only then, but trust yourself, trust your authority, trust that yes, and keep going, because you intuitively can even come to amazing outcomes, but you won't see this until you live through this experience. So absolutely lovely energy for me anyway. And so I would love to hear from you. And Anita, I would love to hear from you. How are you experiencing this transit?
Absolutely. I love this as well. I have the 63 activated by my Chiron and I have the 6447 channel. So I have these energies as well. And you know what's interesting is the 63 is in Pisces and the 64 is in Virgo. So the 63 is about I'm doubting them so that I can trust myself and establish what actions I need to take with that 64. So you'll have all these options and it's about choosing the one that's going to anchor your trust in yourself. But the big thing about this energy at the moment is what I love is that there's a lot of energy in Pisces right now. But Venus is just gone retrograde and Mars is going retrograde next week, or sorry, Mercury is going retrograde next week. And they're all going over these energies. They're going all the way back to from Aries into Pisces and back out again, as the Sun and Neptune are going from Pisces into Aries. Now, what does this mean? This really means that we're evaluating our values, our beliefs, our thoughts, our ideals. And in Mercury retrograde, we're evaluating how we speak about our values, our money, our relationships, our dreams. And then the Sun and where are we in crisis with these? And it's time to let go. It's time to use your doubting brilliance to doubt all that information out there. Let's face it. We can ask 10 people, 10 experts for 10 different opinions, and the chances are you'll get 10 different opinions. And so how do you um, know how to develop your own opinion from that? And of course, we're straight back to the decision strategy and getting it together in a way that, yes, you have to make your own decision at the end of the day, develop your own opinion. And the beautiful thing about this is like literally Mercury and Venus are traveling over the same gates over this time. And it's inviting people to question where and who they're putting their faith in, right? It's inviting people to question um, how can I put my faith in myself? And it's bringing us through the crisis point of spirit, the gate 25, where it's the crisis of spirit, which is can I trust myself to manage, you know, outside of my ideals and beliefs? Can I actually trust myself, have the conviction in my own ability to create in my life? So, of course, you can when you change the values. So, what I'm finding is all these energies moving from Pisces to Aries, it's about, yes, we need to stop trusting in other people's ideals, other people's beliefs. And when they say surrender and move into new beginnings, the new beginning in Aries is getting to know yourself better, getting to know your needs better. This is where I think human design and self-knowing tools are going to go through the roof because it's not unknown beginnings. It's not we don't know what's going to happen. It's I need to connect with what my needs are, my wants are, so that I can actually manifest them. Because what I've noticed with my clients, a lot of them are, including myself at times, you learn through experience, right? I'm trying to manifest things that I thought I wanted. And when I do, I'm kind of there, ooh, that doesn't suit me as much as I thought. Okay, so back to the drawing board. What do I really want? And so, this is really powerful. Um, and it's understanding that the surrender is to step out of your crisis that you're in. And you'll feel it, you'll find you will feel that it might be the longest dark night of the soul that you've ever experienced, because this would have started in 2020. So the longest dark night of the soul, but actually the dark night of the soul is realizing, well, what am I fighting with that as soon as I let go, it's going to resolve itself.
It's true.
So that's where we are. That's where these gates are. The 63 is the active questioning of the inform 64 is the questioning of the information or the guidance. 63 is the questioning of logical information. So it's almost like a right brain, left brain connection, if you can make that happen. So now you're intuitively connected to the information that you need. Super powerful, super powerful.
Yes, I absolutely love the two gates, and what you just described. Even though in my chart it's flipped in my energy, and this is what I bring to the table. But you're right. Intuitively questioning the right things.
Mm,
And then the first line, of course, the 1-3 in me, is it
mm,
solid? Is it secure? Can we trust it? So great energy. One thing I want to, it's not necessarily about the transit right now, but you were talking about how 10 people can give you an opinion. And really, this is where a lot of confusion. I know I speak with so many clients, especially when they're new coming into me, to my world, and they say, well, I have a coach who told me that this needs to be done this way and only this way, and not to do it the other way because the other way is the wrong way. And the truth is that when somebody gives an opinion like this, and including me, and probably including you, Anita, we all have our own opinions we believe in. This is our lived experience, perhaps. Perhaps it's just a conviction we have. Maybe we didn't have the experience, but we just for some reasons decided, and this is what we believe in, right? So we're going to talk about this thing with so much passion, conviction. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of channels in the chart that can, sell through just enthusiastic talking, so people have those energies, and your job, whatever your design is, your job is to doubt, is to say, okay, fair enough, you believe that things need to be done this way, but there's 7 billion people in the world. There's no way that this way will apply to everyone, right? So for your story, for your personality, for your energetical, traits, that works. But
mm,
maybe I need to find another way. And I always kind of compare this to a buffet. I think this is the best way. If you come up to a buffet, loads of different things, and somebody insists. And I don't know about you, Anita, how your relationship with food, but I am very picky. I was a very picky child, and I'm a foodie. I get really upset when the standards are not met, or things are not as good as I expected, but I'm very picky what I eat. And somebody will start pushing me into trying something. My first reaction is a no. And so that happens, I think, in these scenarios when we're asking coaches or mentors or for advice, and they're telling us, but they're telling us a little bit too rigidly what needs to be done, and we go with it, but we don't like it. It's like somebody's like dipping it into that sauce, and you're like, I can't even look at this sauce, but now I have to eat it. Oh my God, this is just such an invasive experience.
mm. That's a really, really good point because, I was describing that to my clients the other day. People can be seen through their own wound, or they can, at the end of the day, with our energies, we actually create an energetic filter around us, an energetic aura around us. We see through our filter. Everybody has their own filter and their point of view that comes through that filter. You'll know when it's clear, when the person has done their work, and you'll know when it's, contaminated is probably the wrong word, but you'll know when it's their wound that they speak through. So when it feels off, it's off. When it sounds off, it's off. So pay attention to your intuition, to your instincts when what they're saying doesn't quite resonate with you. Because in the past, we've been forced to take these opinions and act on them, right? Now it's changing. It's changing to no, actually, I love, we have a great expression in Ireland, and it's, I love that for you, but it's just not my cup of tea. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's, how we manage honoring the other person's opinion without needing to fight it, judge it, make it right, make it wrong, and have our own at the same time. It's the win-win, right?
You know what? Yes, and another thing as well. As you were talking, something else came to my mind. It's also understanding. You might not know energetically who is this person. Maybe they're a manifesting generator, manifestor generator. Reflector, projector. Every one of these energy types have this a certain flavor, right? Let's talk about
Yeah,
like bring
yeah,
the food analogy. They have a certain flavor. And I find that sometimes this flavor, it just could be overpowering. It's like something like too sweet or too sour or too spicy. So manifesting generators sometimes tend to dominate. They want more. They want everything their way. There is a lot of dictatorship that can come through. So when the manifesting generator is really, really into their way, they will be speaking about it with this kind of rigidity because this is their way, and it's their way or the highway, right? There's a tiny little flavor that happens with this type. If you are a manifesting generator, I love you, by the way. Please don't take it personal as a personal attack, because I'm going to talk about projectors, which is me and Anita. Projectors, we get so enthusiastic and we are heavy because we have this penetrative aura. It's like, it's like I don't know, we're just like a laser beam. We
yeah.
will penetrate, and we'll penetrate whether you want it or not. And if you don't want it, it's going to feel really, really bad. So we can speak about something and we can get really heavy with this, really like almost in your face with this. That's also a flavor of a projector, right? If you are a generator, you're going to be buzzing. It's all about you anyway. The generators here are just to, be buzzing within themselves. It's not about other people for them. So that's the truth of the energy type, right? So the generator will develop a process that is probably unique to them. And because it's unique to them, and this is what gives them a lot of joy and satisfaction, they will speak about it like it's the only way. But it's the only way for them, and we have to just lovingly understand. Reflector could be just into someone, or we don't know who they hang out with. We don't know what they're reflecting, right? So again, this could be not necessarily pure outer authority for you, but it could be something else. The manifestors, like here, they're kind of like they're doing their own thing as well. So they can say something to you, but they're not really concerned about your process being completed as much as their own impact on you. It's not a conscious thing as well. Again, manifestors, I love you dearly. Some of my best people and best clients are manifestors. I'm just talking about the shadow side of all our energy types. So when you have a coach, all you have to do is, another expression, take everything with a pinch of salt. You can
Yeah.
still take advice. Some things will stick and some things don't stick. So one of the things that I find that where the friction happens is when we try to do everything step by step, and especially when the coaches insist that you have to do it exactly as they say. And I think that this is where we go wrong, because what works exactly, even in this within the same energy type, what works exactly for Anita, due to her personality, design, energetics, and so on and so forth, will not work for me just because I'm a projector, right? So I'll have to figure out my own way, but I can watch, I can listen. She could provide me with some guidance, and I can say, okay, this feels good. My authority says yes to this. My authority says no to that, and it's okay to skip that and not go just because Anita's doing this, right? It's okay for you not to do this as long as you're taking from her what feels right. And that's, I think, it's like the buffet. You have your plate and you take it, you cherry pick and take what you
It's
want.
so true. What resonates with you as a 5-1? I know for sure. I used to go training with teachers in early days when I was moving into this angel work and energy work and personal development. And I used to say, that's rubbish. That's really stupid. I didn't know that my thing was I am going to resonate with just certain pieces. And I take that. I don't have to make them wrong or criticize them. I just take those and move with them. And then it's my particular magic to pull them together into a practical application, right? But I
That's it.
didn't realize as the 5-1 that, I'm very discerning about what information I take or go with. And the discernment, of course, is my inner knowing. But, and that's where we get really strong, is realizing it's okay to do that. And it's such a good point, Juliet, because I'm even seeing, manifesting to me is a spiritual process. It's an energetic process, as well as information and making it happen, right? But I'm seeing a lot of business coaches now going, my clients did all the steps that I asked them to do, and they're still not getting the results. And I'm there, yeah, because your energy has to come into play. How you're designed to do it has to come into play. So this is what makes Juliet's work most valuable and my work valuable, because we're bringing the energy that the way you're designed to use your energy to express, to be visible, to shine, and to make things happen in your life. That's kind of, you combine that with the practical steps. And this is a beautiful example of the 63-64 practical steps. Yes, the 64, the past, what worked before, bring them into your intuitive guidance and really, you know, start doubting and questioning and evaluating the steps that aren't any of value to you. I mean, it's magic. I just love how this whole process is unfolding with us, Juliet, because
That's true. That is so true. That is so true. And yes, one more thing I want to say as well about, we keep saying because we use human design as a tool. Human design is not a dogma for us. It's not something that, that's like right or wrong. It's a tool in a toolbox because it's like a map, you give like you get directions from it. That's all. If you don't know human design, you still can be picky. You can still take things that you just resonate with and don't take things that you don't resonate with, as a must to succeed because there's no such thing. You will still have to figure your own way. And it'll take time and it'll take experimentation. And it doesn't matter even what your design is, you will still have to find your way, right? So don't get hooked up as well when we're talking about, this is the way you designed. And then all you have to do is go and learn every gate, everything that you know, people spend too much time learning about their design and then trying to fit into their design. It's not about it. What we do is we use it as a tool. So we can sense echoes, for example. Somebody's talking about their business and I can see clearly, okay, so this is that personality line that is showing here, or here's this tribal circuitry that is making you, feel like you're not being appreciated because they're not giving you back and you're giving so much. All these little things, but that's like an echo, this is where it's just a reference point rather than the main thing. And I think that it's really important to understand this and discern. So even with these transits, we're coming in, we're telling you, okay, this is the week where things can happen, or you might be affected emotionally, or maybe you're affected by some fears, if you're going through the spleen gates and these kind of things. So you're just prepared. By the way, one thing we didn't mention, Venus now retrograding is a great time for overalls and like makeovers. I just updated my website. It's really good about in a way to look into yourself and your appearance and where have you been slacking, what can be tweaked, because right now Venus is not in charge of your appearance, you are, right? Venus is not in charge of how your website looks, you are, and you can make those decisions. And I find, looking back, that every time when Venus retrogrades, I'm not sure how many weeks, but it's kind of lengthy period. It's like over a month,
it
definitely. I think,
is,
yeah,
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 it's
yeah, it's
it's
two,
not
three
going
months or something.
directly
I
to
don't remember
April.
honestly, but
Mm.
this is a good time now to take these bold things and improve, with everything that how you care about yourself and also how you look. And I find that this is, we tweak our websites a lot and we do all this kind of stuff to get clients. Don't do it to get clients. Do it so you feel good about yourself. That's the key with the Venus retrograde. When you feel good about yourself and how you look and how your website looks, that's when you're going to attract more people because it's the energetical magnetism that you're activating. So
Mm.
just had to mention this before we let you go. Guys, thank you so much. We will see you during the next transit. And for now, take care and bye bye.